Imagine it's 3 in the morning. Your phone, resting on the nightstand, pulses with a single, silent notification. You don't hear it. You're asleep, dreaming of tomorrow. But while you sleep, your digital life is being dismantled. You didn't click a suspicious link. You didn't share an OTP with a stranger. You didn't even open your banking app. Yet, in the cold glow of that screen, the numbers are changing. 1 lakh, 2 lakhs, gone. This isn't just a glitch, it's a surgical strike. This is how millions disappear silently into the digital void. It is a ghost in the machine, a predator that doesn't need an invitation. Tonight, we uncover the invisible architecture of the UPI fraud, a world where your trust is the ultimate vulnerability. This is how the money vanishes. The sun rises, and for Rahul, it's just another Tuesday. He reaches for his phone, expecting news or a weather update. Instead, he finds a nightmare. 2 lakh rupees, his entire savings for his sister's wedding, vanished in seconds. No phone call from a bank manager, no warning from his security app, no trace of where the money went. It's a clean break. The banking system, designed to be instantaneous for our convenience, has become a high-speed getaway vehicle for the modern criminal. In the time it took him to blink, his financial security was liquidated. The shock isn't just the loss of money, it's the absolute silence of the theft. No broken windows, no physical confrontation, just a digital void where his future used to be. How did they get in? How did they know? The answers are more terrifying than the crime itself. To understand the theft, we must first understand the system. Unified Payments Interface, or UPI, is a marvel of financial engineering. It connects your bank account directly to a virtual ID, allowing money to move across the NPCI switch with the speed of a text message. It was built on trust, the trust that the person on the other end is who they say they are. But in this digital interconnectedness, the fraudsters have found the cracks. They see the merchant as a disguise and the mule as a destination. They don't attack the vault, they attack the bridge. By understanding the flow from your bank to the NPCI and finally to the recipient, criminals have mapped out every possible detour. They exploit the very speed we celebrate, turning a second-long transaction into a permanent disappearance. It is a perfect ecosystem for a perfect crime. The entry is never loud. It begins with a collect request, a simple notification that looks like a refund you've been waiting for. For a busy corporate employee like Priya, it's just one more task in a day full of them. The fraudster doesn't need to hack your bank, they just need you to look away for a second. Or perhaps it's a screen share trap, where a helpful customer service voice guides you to install a diagnostic tool. In reality, you are handing over the keys to your digital kingdom. They see what you see. They record your PIN as you type it. It's a silent invasion of your most private space. By the time you realize that the help was actually a heist, the connection is severed and the screen goes dark. They were never there, yet they took everything. It's the most common trick in the book, yet thousands fall for it every single day. The QR code trap. You're selling an old laptop online, and a buyer sends you a QR code. They tell you to scan this to receive the payment. It sounds logical, but here is the golden rule of UPI. You never need to scan a code or enter your PIN to receive money. The moment you scan that code, you aren't opening a door for money to enter. You are unlocking the exit. The screen flashes, payment successful, but the balance isn't yours anymore. The fraudster plays on your excitement, your rush to finish the deal. They use cinematic psychological tricks to make the pay button look like a confirm button. It's a digital sleight of hand that leaves you holding nothing but a scanned image and a zero balance. Remote access is the final frontier of digital theft. It starts with a simple app, something that sounds official like AnyDesk or TeamViewer. The fraudster convinces you there's an issue with your KYC or a pending bill. Once you give them that 9-digit code, your phone is no longer yours. You watch, paralyzed, as your screen comes to life. Icons move, your banking app opens, and your fingerprints are bypassed. It's like watching a ghost rob your house while you're sitting in the living room. They execute the transfer with surgical precision, moving your lakhs into a web of untraceable accounts. The silent transfer is the ultimate violation. Your device, your most personal tool, has been turned against you. The control hijack is complete, and by the time you pull the battery or kill the Wi-Fi, the damage is already done. Why do we fall for it? It isn't because we are uneducated. It's because the fraudsters are masters of social engineering. They don't hack computers, they hack humans. They use a cocktail of fear and urgency to bypass your logic. Your account will be blocked in 10 minutes, they say. your electricity will be cut tonight. In that state of manufactured panic, your brain's survival instinct takes over, and your critical thinking shuts down. They create a trust bias by using professional language and official-sounding titles. They know your name, your address, and sometimes even your last transaction, data they bought on the dark web just to build that initial bridge of trust. It is a psychological manipulation so refined that even the smartest people find themselves handing over their life savings to a voice on the other end of a line. This isn't just one guy in a basement. This is the fraud factory. Inside organized digital scam operations, it looks like any other corporate call center. There are shifts, managers, and even performance targets. They have scripts for every scenario: the helpful banker, the angry electricity official, the excited lottery agent. They operate with corporate efficiency, using stolen databases to target thousands of victims simultaneously. These centers are often hidden in plain sight, tucked away in small towns, or operating across international borders to evade local law enforcement. They use high-tech equipment to spoof caller IDs and mask their digital footprints. Every hello you hear is a calculated move in a global game of chess, where the prize is your bank balance. It's a multi-billion-dollar industry built on the ruins of people's trust. Once the money leaves your account, it enters the laundering pipeline. It doesn't sit in one place. Within seconds, it is layered across dozens of mule accounts, often belonging to poor laborers or students who have no idea their IDs are being used for crime. Each transfer makes the trail colder. From these mule accounts, the money is withdrawn at ATMs or converted into cryptocurrency. This crypto exit is the final stage of the disappearance. In the decentralized world of the blockchain, the money becomes invisible to traditional banking regulators. By the time the police reach the first mule account, the funds are already halfway around the world, washed clean and ready to be used by the criminal syndicates. It is a sophisticated, high-speed operation that leaves investigators chasing shadows in a digital maze. People often ask, why can't the banks just stop it? The answer lies in the speed versus security paradox. UPI was designed for frictionless, instant transactions. If the bank added a 30-minute delay or a complex multi-step verification for every 100 rupee chai payment, the system would collapse. The very feature that makes UPI a success, its speed, is what the fraudsters exploit. By the time a fraud is reported, the money has already passed through 5 different banks. The security protocols are constantly evolving, using AI to detect red flag patterns, but the scammers are evolving just as fast. They find the blind spots in the system, testing the limits of what a bank can monitor without infringing on user experience. It's a never-ending arms race between the guardians of our money and the architects of its disappearance. It's a dangerous myth that only the elderly or the uninformed lose money to UPI fraud. In reality, some of the biggest victims are doctors, engineers, and corporate executives. This happens because of cognitive overload. Scammers target you when you are most vulnerable, at work, during a family emergency, or late at night when your defenses are down. They use trust bias, mimicking the exact tone and procedures of institutions you interact with daily. When you're under pressure, your brain looks for shortcuts to resolve the situation, and that's when you miss the small red flags. The fraudster isn't hacking your intelligence. They are hacking your biology. They use the same psychological triggers that make us fall for clickbait or marketing, but with devastating financial consequences. Understanding this is the first step toward true protection. The clues are always there, hidden in plain sight. These are the micro-warning signals, the red flags you missed in the heat of the moment. It might be an SMS header that doesn't match your bank's official shortcode. It might be a URL that uses a bought XYZ domain instead of .com. Or most importantly, it's the collect request itself. Remember, no legitimate government agency or bank will ever ask you to scan a QR code to verify your account. If the person on the other end is rushing you, threatening you, or asking you to keep the call secret, that is the biggest red flag of all. These scammers survive on your silence and your speed. By slowing down and looking at the details, you strip away their power. The devil is in the digital details, and spotting them is your best line of defense against the invisible thief. Protection isn't about being a tech expert. It's about behavior discipline. Start by setting a daily UPI limit that matches your actual needs. If you only spend 1,000 rupees a day, don't leave your limit at 1 lakh. Enable biometric authentication for every transaction. Your thumbprint is harder to spoof than a 4-digit PIN. Never install apps like AnyDesk on the advice of a stranger. And most importantly, if you suspect a fraud, act instantly. Use the 1930 National Helpline or your bank's official portal to freeze your accounts immediately. The first golden hour after a fraud is the only time the money can potentially be recovered. By taking these simple steps, you transform yourself from a target into a fortress. You take back control of your digital life, ensuring that your money stays exactly where it belongs, with you. As we reach the end of this investigation, one truth stands above all others. Fraud is no longer about hacking servers or breaking firewalls. Those are the old ways. Today, fraud is about hacking you. It is the ultimate psychological heist where the criminal uses your own decency, your own fear, and your own trust as a weapon against your bank account. They aren't looking for a backdoor into the NPCI. They are looking for a backdoor into your mind. The next time your phone lights up at night, remember what we've uncovered. The money doesn't just disappear, it is taken through the cracks in our attention. Stay vigilant, stay skeptical, and never forget that in the digital age, your awareness is the only currency that truly matters. Because the next fraud story is already being written, don't let it be yours. To uncover real corporate secrets, like, share, comment, and subscribe to Corporate Secrets. Like, share, comment. Subscribe to Corporate Secrets before the next fraud story reaches you.